Hello, friends! I'm so glad you came back. I was just working on a piece here. This is Miss Doris. She was my friend Betsy's mom, and she was a really interesting person. She was an engineer, so I've got slide rules and protractors here. She was actually a professional ballet dancer. She also worked in fashion, and she was a mom. And as you might guess, she had a really great sense of humor. So I've been having fun working on this piece. But now that you're here, I'm going to put it away. So before we get started today, here's what you will need. You will need your background with your pieces from yesterday. You will need our trusty scissors. You will need the sewing needle out of your kit. You will need thread, and it wouldn't hurt to have that skinny strip of paper. So go ahead and get those things and we'll get started. So the first thing we want to double check in is our shapes. We are putting shapes onto a piece of fabric and using stitching to make a design. Do you know that that is actually how this shirt was made? This shirt is from India, and all of these little shapes. Look, there's an elephant. We're done with fabric and stitched on with nice thread. And you know, there is a French term for that. It is called appliqué. So you are doing a French embroidery technique. You are creating appliqué. Very exciting. Now, first, let's check our shapes. I still have a loose ear for some reason, so I had to make sure I put that in the right place. Let's see, does that go there? No. What did you say? Oh, silly Mr. That's where the tail goes. Let's see, does it go here? It kind of falls off. No, that's like a giant horn. Oh, what's that you say? Silly Mr. It goes on the side of the head, right there. Now, you'll notice that it is overlapping. Overlap. The shape is going to go over top or overlap some of the other shapes. So I'm going to pin this on. So you might want to do a little double check and make sure all of your shapes, oh, that pin is going to be stubborn, are where you want them to be. Ta-da, shapes. Now, in order to sew, we have to have some thread and a needle. So you can look at your colors of thread. You should have 4 different colors. And sometimes I like to lay them against my embroidery and decide what's going to be the most interesting color. I think the blue would be kind of nice and blended if I want it to be sort of a nice blendy color. The yellow really kind of pops. I'm kind of liking this pink, so I think that's where I will start. Now, this packet of thread is kind of unusual. It's called a skein, which is a very old way of packing the thread, but not always the easiest to deal with. First thing is, don't take the paper off. Paper is keeping it from becoming a tangled mess. Second, look for an end that's sticking out. Usually, there's a little end somewhere, like that, that's sticking out of the skein. And that end is where you start. The other end is in there somewhere, buried underneath this. But if you pull on that end, it gets kind of tangly. So usually, you pull on this end. Now see if it pulls gently. If it fights you, then it's a wrong end. And this actually is biting me a little bit. Always fun. Let's see if I try it. Oh, see, I grabbed the wrong end. So I want to take this end that's pulling nice and easy and measure 1 length of my arm. I'm going to put my fingers up here at my shoulder and pull out 1 more length of my arm. So I have 2 arm lengths. And then I'm going to snip that. Put that aside. Next, I have to get this into the needle. Now, a word about our friend the needle. These needles are really nice. They have a nice big hole in them. Does anybody know what that hole is called? Anybody know? it's the eye, funny name for a hole, it's the eye of the needle. So there are a couple ways to do this. Sometimes you can pinch it really close and put it through like that. Or you can do what a teacher friend taught me a couple years ago. Take the skinny strip of paper. You want a skinny strip of paper that is skinny enough to go through the hole of your needle. You're going to take that paper and fold both ends together so you have a little loop like this. Now, you are going to take this, put the two cut ends through the needle like that. Hold that, then take one end of your thread and put it through that paper loop like this. Now, very gently, hold this with one hand, pull the paper with the other, and pull your thread through the eye of the needle. And now your needle is threaded. So now we're going to take the two cut ends and we're going to put them together. Straighten that out and tie a knot. Now there's no wrong way to tie a knot. Whatever works for you is fine. Somebody in your family knows how to tie a good knot, roll with it. I'm just going to show you one way. So you can take this and make a loop like that. See, I crossed over top and made a loop. Then I'm going to take these ends and come underneath. Oh, come on, ends, cooperate, like that. And now I'm going to push and pull my thread so I have a nice knot. Let's do a slow motion instant replay. We're going to make a loop like this. We're going to take the two ends and come up underneath, hold this with my fingers, and pull, push until I have a knot. Now I have two knots. You only need one. Oh my goodness. We got that far. Guess what? Now, we're finally ready to sew! We're gonna sew! We're gonna sew! We're gonna sew! So much fun! So excited! All right. So, get your needle threaded. I'll give you a moment. Pause if you need to. And we'll get started. Okay. We're back. Take your knot. We're going to rethink. Should the knot go on the front of my sewing or the back? What's that you said? The back. Yes, because we don't want that fuzzy knot hanging out on the front of our embroidery. So, or our applique. I'm going to take my knot, and it doesn't matter where you start, but it's probably good to start sewing the big shape first, the main shape. So I am going to put this, I want to poke it so my needle comes up somewhere on the edge of my shape. Because we're going to sew around the edge. So I'm going to pull that and pull, 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 till it tugs and stops. So your knot is right up against the back of the fabric. Then you're going to take this and go down right next to where you last stitched. Whoops. Get off that pin. Pull that till it's nice and flat. Just flat. You don't have to pull till it's too tight. Now, you want to go to the back and poke that needle up next to where you made that last stitch. See how it comes up on the front? It's a little ways from the first one, not too close, not too far. Now, a little advice about needles. These needles I love because they go through the fabric, but they're not too sharp. They're not too pointy. You never want to intentionally try to poke yourself with a needle. No, don't do that. But they shouldn't prick you or poke you while you're sewing. But I'd still try to keep my fingers away from where you want to poke it through. So I'm going to make my next stitch right here, close to where I made the last one. Go down, pull till it stops. Come up, pull till it stops. You're just going, remember, now, when you go from the front, right, my thread came out of the front, I have to go back down through the front. If my thread is on the back, I must go back up from what at the back. Exactly. Now, so you go down from the front and up from the back. And take your time. Think about where you're putting that needle. Now, sewing, and sometimes I'm thinking so hard about where that next stitch goes that I put my needle in and this happens. What just happened, Miss Herbert? Oh! It's a loop-de-loop. It happens to everybody. I will tell you, big kids, little kids, I've even had it happen to grown-ups. So don't panic. First rule, don't panic. Then you want to gently pull that loose thread. See how I loose thread on the back? I'm going to pull gently till my needle is up to the surface of the fabric. Now, this you might need help with. You want to hold this thread on the other side where the needle's coming out. Hold it a little straight, a little bit tight, and then hold the needle in your other hand and gently see if you can back it through the hole. Ta-da! No more loop-de-loop. There again. That is a thing that happens to everybody. Don't freak out. It's okay. But just take your time undoing it. When it happens the first time, you want to fix the first one. Don't keep making them, because then you're going to need to cut the thread. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So remember, down from the top, up from the bottom. If you want to, you could pause here and do some stitches and then come back. I am going to keep going around my shape so that I can talk to you about what happens when I get to the end of my thread. Remember, down and up. Down from the front and up from the back. Down from the front and up from the back. Down from the front. Up from the back. Now, I've been doing this a very, very, very long time, so I have gotten a little speedy over the years. Don't worry about it. You will be faster than me someday, but right now, just take your time and do your stitches. So I am almost all the way around my shape. I have got up, down. See, now I've made it from ear all the way around, back to the ear. So if I really wanted to, I could make a couple stitches under that ear because it's not stitched down yet, but I am going to stitch the ear down, so it's not utterly necessary. I am going to go, just for the heck of it, down one more time, and now I've stitched around my whole body shape, so that's nice and secure. So what do I do now? Because I want to sew something else. Now I need to tie a knot. I have a short piece of thread left. It's not particularly long, so you want to make sure it's at least as long as your needle. If you leave teeny weeny bits of thread on the back, it's really hard to tie a knot. Pull your thread to the back, remember, knots on the back, and snip the thread close to the needle. Whenever you are not using your needle, you want to put it down and up in your fabric so that you don't lose it. It's a little guy. It'll roll off the table and they're tricky to find sometimes. So always stick it in the felt when you are not stitching. Now, we have our thread on the back. We're going to split the two threads like this. Hello, bunny ears. There we are. Who knows how to tie your shoe? You do? Okay, so what do you do when you tie your shoe? You crisscross. We're just going to crisscross, and then we're going to come under, come here you, and pull. I'm going to do it 2 times. Crisscross, take one end up through, and pull. Then you have a knot that there again is right against the surface of your felt. And you can take your scissors and snip that extra bit off so it doesn't get in your way when you're stitching. So, for today, let's try to get one big shape stitched. And if you have trouble, ask for help. If you start to loop-de-loop, stop at the first one and figure it out, then move on. Don't wait till you have 6 loops and you've got a poor scrunchy elephant or other creature. So, let's do that. And we might talk about what was the most fun thing that you did so far. Did you like cutting out the shapes? How was cutting? Did it go well or was it frustrating? Did you have any trouble with the scissors? How did threading the needle go? Did the paper help? Or were you super person and did you get it threaded with one try without paper? Every once in a while you can do that. But you know, the paper is our friend. So, happy stitching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.